Think about it. All those provisions you need for life and godliness, God has them lined up for you. He desires for you to have dominion in all areas of your life, not just to scrape by, but to truly thrive. However, great things don't just land in our laps. They unfold through a journey, a divine roadmap from where you are now to where you're destined to be. This journey isn't without its preparation. Listen, God doesn't do things haphazardly. He's thorough, ensuring you go through necessary stages to be ready for the blessings ahead. This isn't about staying stagnant. As God is infinite, He wants you, His child, to constantly evolve and grow. Every good thing in your life, from your job to your loving family and comfortable home, is a testament to God's grace and mercy. But there's more. If you've ever doubted God's ability to bring more into your life, remember, He is limitless. As Isaiah 60:22 says, "The least of you will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its time, I will do this swiftly." Where you are now is just the beginning. The comforts you enjoy today are nothing compared to the incredible future God has in store for you. This realization should stir a sense of anticipation and readiness within you. The path to becoming a mighty nation, as promised in the scriptures, isn't an overnight affair. It involves aligning with God's timing and understanding His strategic preparations. Consider your current job. It might seem like just a way to pay the bills now, but what if God is using it to prep you for something bigger? Maybe He's grooming you to manage or even own a company in the future. This season is your training ground, and your attitude towards your current responsibilities is crucial. The Bible puts it plainly: if you are faithful in little, you will be faithful in much. This principle teaches us that handling small tasks well sets the stage for larger responsibilities. If you can't manage little well, who will trust you with more? Reflect on this. If you became a CEO tomorrow, would you want a company full of employees who share your current work attitude? Adjustments might be needed during your waiting period, but it's vital to remember that this time is not wasted. It's a period when God is actively working on you, fitting you for the future He has planned. Never buy into the lie that you're just biding time or that your efforts are going unnoticed. Pay close attention to what God's emphasizing in your life right now. If He's nudging you towards being more prudent with your spending, it's not to make your life harder, but to prepare you for the abundance to come. God values preparedness and has zero tolerance for waste. He won't entrust His resources to someone unready. By diligently cooperating with God's work in your life during these times of preparation, you position yourself to receive His blessings when they arrive. Don't settle for less than what God has prepared for you. His plans involve greater glory, more abundance, and new opportunities. You might feel comfortable now, but God is calling you to greater things. So, step out of your comfort zone, aim high, and go for the abundance you were created to enjoy. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into this. Think about how Ephesians 3 verse 20 tells us, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." It's like God is saying, trust me, I've got big plans for you. Plans that go beyond just the everyday wants and needs. You might just be praying for a job, but God, He could be setting you up to run the whole company. Your role isn't just to show up and work, but to prepare, to grow, and to be ready when that bigger call comes. Every step you take, every challenge you face, it's all part of His preparation. You're not just filling a position, you're being groomed for something much bigger. Consider Hannah from the Bible. She wanted a son, but God didn't just give her any child. He gave her Samuel, a prophet who would anoint kings. It wasn't until Hannah shifted her perspective from bitterness to a broken heart seeking God that her blessing arrived. Her personal transformation was necessary for the birth of someone as important as Samuel. Just like Hannah, your transformation is key. You're being shaped not just to meet your desires, but to fulfill a role in a much bigger story. God is working through your current situation, whatever it might be, to prepare you for what's next. Your job isn't just a job. Your challenges aren't just obstacles. They are the training ground for your future. Now, look at Abraham. His desire was simple, a son. But God had much grander plans. Through Abraham, not just a family, but entire nations would be blessed. God's promise to Abraham was vast, stretching far beyond his immediate understanding. And yes, it took faith, it took obedience, and it took time. Each test Abraham passed brought him closer to that promise. You see, your current position is your training ground. Whether you're working a job, running a business, or even in your daily interactions at home, you are in a season of preparation. Each task, each challenge is a step towards something greater. As you grow in wisdom, skills, and character, you're not just working towards personal goals, but divine appointments. And it's not just about getting there. It's about being ready to stay there. If you rush through your preparation, you might reach higher levels, but without the necessary foundation, you won't be able to sustain it. That's why it's crucial to let God perfect His work in you. Being fully prepared means you won't just achieve your dreams, you'll excel in them. So, use your talents wisely. Are you a writer, a singer, or someone who uplifts others? These aren't just hobbies or minor roles. These are the tools God is using to prepare you. Every song you sing, every word you write, every heart you touch, it's all part of becoming who you're meant to be. These are not just activities, they're ministries, parts of the divine process. Aim high, expect more, and prepare earnestly. God's plans are to prosper you, to give you a future filled with hope. Your current comfort zone is just the starting point. You're meant for greater things, so stretch your faith, deepen your commitment, and prepare to rise to the occasion. With God, the possibilities are truly endless. So let's talk about getting ready for what God has next for you. It all starts with humility. Remember what the Bible says in 1 Peter 5:6, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that He may lift you up in due time." This verse isn't just saying, be humble. It's telling you that humility is your ticket to being elevated by God. It's like planting yourself in the soil of God's grace and letting Him do the growing. Humility means you recognize it's not all about you. You understand that every success you have comes not from your own hands alone, but from God's blessings. By staying humble, you're essentially telling God, I trust your timing and your placement. This is crucial Because God doesn't just want to give you small wins. He wants to elevate you in a big way. But first, you have to show you know who's really in charge. Now, let's talk about trust. It's another cornerstone. The book of John, chapter 14, verse 12 says, "Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father." Can you imagine doing greater works than Jesus? That's a huge statement, but it all hinges on belief, trusting God deeply and completely. Trust isn't just feeling, it's action. It means stepping out in faith even when the end isn't in sight. This trust needs to permeate every part of your life. Say, for example, your marriage. God doesn't just want you to be happily married. He wants your marriage to be a vessel through which His kingdom expands. Trusting God within your marriage means more than being faithful and loving. It's about expecting God to do great things through you both, to touch lives and maybe even nations. Then there's diligence. Proverbs 22:29 puts it clearly. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before obscure men. This isn't about just being busy. It's about being effective and excellent in what you do. Whether you're a carpenter, a teacher, or a business owner, working diligently sets you up for divine appointments, moments where God elevates your work to a higher stage. Hard work has no substitute. You can't cut corners and expect God to fill in the gaps. Laziness, it just doesn't mix with a life of blessing. Think about it. If you're not willing to put in the effort, why should God upgrade your position? Being diligent means putting your best foot forward in everything you do, not for your glory, but because you're representing Him in every task. Now imagine you are working hard, staying humble, and trusting God through it all. That's when you truly align with God's vision for your life. This isn't about ticking off boxes to get God's attention. It's about preparing your heart and hands for the bigger picture He has painted for you. This season of preparation, your current job, your relationships, your challenges, it's all part of the curriculum. God is using each of these areas to build you up, to test you, to see if you're ready for more. If you can be faithful with little, then you can be trusted with much. So during this time, lean into what God is doing. Don't rush the process. The waiting and working might seem long and tiring, but remember, they're forging you into the person you need to be to handle what's coming. It's like training for a big race. You need those long, hard days to be ready for the starting line. Lastly, remember, God is not done with you. According to His promise, He's just getting started. He's perfecting everything that concerns you, making you a sign and a wonder. Cooperate with Him, embrace the process, and watch as He takes you places you never imagined, preparing you all the while for a life filled with His immeasurable blessings.